Hey guys, it's Spiker here. I decided to make a time-lapse video of me making my custom hitbox and going over, I guess, the trials and issues I had just making one, or actually how easy it ended up being to make. Whenever you look up like guides on how to make stuff, you always assume it's a lot harder than it actually is, and then once you do it, it seems relatively easy. I don't know, I was like that when I made my first computer. And I don't know, it was the main reason I decided to do this because I've built a few computers and it's not as hard as everyone thinks it is. But yeah, this is just me using, shout out to Focus Tech. Got 1624, I think it is, yeah, 24 millimeter buttons. And I wanted to put custom artwork. And when looking this up, a lot of people were saying how flimsy the Sanwa parts are and how they break easily and should be careful. But when I was putting this art in, I didn't show it in this exact part because I decided to record later, but like the first like 3 or 4 buttons, I must have popped them in and out like 20 times and nothing ever went wrong. I actually bought an extra of each button just in case. But yeah, what I ended up doing is, it seemed the easiest is to just line up the artwork and then pop them in. Hopefully it won't be an issue later on. I noticed a lot of people mention they used like, it's like Elmer's glue or something, just relatively small glue to keep them centered. But I noticed once I popped them in, they weren't moving at all. I don't know, this might change after, I don't know, a month or a year of using them, but hopefully not. Because it seems like it'd be annoying to have to unplug everything and plug it back in and change the art out. And since I used letters, if they ever like get sideways, it'd look awkward and you can read it. But yeah, those are the buttons. They were really easy. I think it took me like probably like 15-20 minutes to do all. It wasn't 16, it was, because 4 of them are back. But yeah, I think it took maybe like 15 or 30 minutes to do those. It's pretty easy. And then after that, I decided to get custom artwork made. Template for this, I guess the backplate, and then the front itself was like, I think 14 by 8.5. And then when I went to print at Kinko's, the paper size was actually like 17 by like 15 or something really large. So I could have ended up fitting both this backplate and my front on a single page. It only costs $3 to print this. It's a cardstock, basically like a poster board. But yeah, I ended up getting 2 of these. So it was only $6 to print them out, pretty cheap. And this is just me going with an X-Acto knife over all the buttons. This was actually really annoying. I probably should have went to like a hobby shop or something to get an actual decent blade to cut this, because I just used a generic one that I used to open boxes, and it was not the greatest. But yeah, overall, I think this actually took the longest. I think I ended up spending like probably like an hour and a half cutting all this crap out. I mean, this will probably be like the majority of the video is just me time-lapsing all these button cutouts. And also your hand gets really tired after cutting these out for so long. I should also note that I cut really close inside the circle because I was scared that there was going to be like art, or you were going to see the cuts on the outside of the buttons. But actually the buttons themselves go a fair bit over it, so you really don't have anything to worry about. So, but I just sort of jammed the buttons through the art and slightly bent them, the artwork itself, I mean, and everything seemed fine. But yeah, I don't know. I've been playing fighting games, I guess, since like 2011, I think's when Marvel vs. Capcom came out. I was never really into fighting games. I think I played like the original BlazBlue with friends. And then one of my close friends, Sam, was really into comics and told me about Marvel vs. Capcom. It seemed really interesting. He ended up buying it, and then I played it at his house for like, I don't know, we played for like a week or whatever, and I decided to buy it myself. And then from there, I don't know, I just actually got competitive. Shoutouts to Maximilian, because around that time is when he started actually doing YouTube videos. And he actually gave me the motivation to keep trying to get good. And I think it took me like almost a month and a half from being like a complete novice and never really taking fighting games serious to being able to actually do combos in a match and doing like fireball and DP, reverse DP, half circle, 360s. Yeah. So it's been, I don't know. I've also, after that point, I think I started using, there was a bunch of tournaments going on and people would always, they'd always have those promotions. I was like, oh, maybe I'll earn a fight stick since I'm actually enjoying playing fighting games. And that was basically a trap because I got the standard edition instead of like one of the tournament editions because I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. I think I ended up spending like 2 months actually getting decent at stick because for whatever reason it took me forever to get good at doing motions at a faster rate compared to pad. But yeah. And then the issue with that is since it was a standard edition, after like 4 months of using it, after I got decent, the buttons started to give out and I don't know, I just went back to pad because I was a poor college student. And yeah, this is just me showing, I should shout out Retro Stockpile. This is the case, it's his. I bought it for like $50, pretty cheap. And putting all the buttons and everything in fit perfectly. Didn't really have any issues with that. The only issue I had is later on the wiring, like I start showing it here. I really wish Focus Attack would just actually send you a printed picture of where all the buttons are or what each button is because I kept having to check online the buttons and then eventually I was just like screw it, instead of having to check every 3 seconds I just took masking tape and I wrote down like 1p, 2p, 3p, 4p, 1k, 2k, 3k, etc. on all the buttons just so I know where they are, and if I ever had to unplug any of them I would just know. So yeah, plugging them all in plus the ground took forever. And then later on I realized like I'm doing it right now. I did the start select or start and share or whatever you want to call it, and the other side is R3 and home button or whatever. Yeah, I think that's it. But I didn't realize when I was doing this is I have the stick or the hitbox flipped. So actually now my start and select is on the left side and then my R3 and share or whatever is on the right side or home button. But yeah, I don't know, I can always fix it later. But I noticed that after I had done all this crap. But so actually the biggest issue I had was actually the wires sticking out too high. And just cable management in general. I'm used to like PC, you can really do a clean job. But for whatever reason this, when I was putting it together, since the wires themselves stick out like an inch and the buttons are like half an inch, by the time you try to close it, the buttons are all like, basically I'm almost barely clearing when I close the case. And it was slightly annoying me, but to be honest, I'm probably not going to open this that often or if really at all. So I don't know how much of an issue it'll actually be. I don't know, maybe I'll get motivation to do a clean wiring, get zip ties. But yeah, for now I think this is good enough, and I don't know, it closed fine, so yeah, it was my crappy wiring job. And this is the finished product, I guess. And everything worked fine. I tested it before I actually closed it, and I didn't really record that, but yeah, all the buttons seem fine. Yeah, the artwork looks nice. I actually used, I forget what it's called, but it's one of the AI things on the internet that'll double the size without losing too much quality. And the backplate actually came out pretty good. The only issue I have, I guess, is the Brooks actual audio thing isn't the prettiest. So I don't know, I guess either black it out with like a Sharpie or something, or get black screws so it doesn't pop out as much. And this was more of my fault. I noticed after I changed from, or put the thing in my shopping cart, later on I was trying to decide which PCB to get, and I saw the cable said, I thought it said 15 feet, but it actually said 15 inches, and the other one was the 10-foot cable, so Unfortunately, I got that mixed up, so I have to go to like mono price and get another one. But that's not really that big of an issue. But yeah, that's it, completed. I don't know. I think at the end it cost like $180, so it wasn't that bad. Or actually, I think it was maybe 190 because I got extra buttons. But yeah, slightly cheaper than actually buying a hitbox yourself, and the quality, even though it's not a metal case, retro stockpiles case is actually really impressive. So yeah, I don't know. Seemed like a good investment, and it was pretty easy. I think it took a total of maybe 3.5 hours to complete the whole thing, which isn't that bad. You pretty much just listen to podcasts while you're making it, so I don't know. Now to probably learn hitbox and take, I don't know, hopefully it won't take as long. It seems like getting the idea, or getting used to hitting left and right as buttons and up for jump with my right hand might take a while, but I don't know. I'm sure if I play for like a month, I'll just get used to it, and hopefully when the PS5 comes out, they'll have backwards compatibility, or I'll just have to get another Brooks converter at the end. Save money, get like $20 ones. I don't know, Brooks has been pretty good. So yeah, yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.